Splatoon 3 has been out for almost 2 years, and I can say that this game is my favorite out of the franchise. Sure, Splatoon 1 has a lot of nostalgic moments for me getting me into the franchise, and I spent the most time with Splatoon 2. But there are some elements of Splatoon 3 that have made me love this game even more. But even with that love for this game, there are some things that I do hate, unfortunately. What's up everyone, my name is Gus and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'll tell you what I love and hate about this game, and if you enjoyed the video and want to support the work that I do on this channel, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me a lot in promoting my channel. Also, be sure to tell me what you love and hate about Splatoon 3 in the comments. With that out of the way, let's get started with the video. Splatoon 3 has a lot of things going for it. It's the newest game in the franchise, and while there might be some recency bias there, I think it's hard to argue how polished this game is, even though the franchise is only 9 years old. For example, one feature that I loved that Nintendo improved on in Splatoon 3 was the increased customization options. S3 is the first game in the series where you can pick an Inkling or Octoling from the get-go without purchasing DLC. In my opinion, no Inkling or Octoling will look the same. Sure, you can have the same haircut, but the other customization features alongside the clothing options allow you to express your character in the game and outside of it. For example, if I showed you these two characters and asked you to tell me who they are, you probably might know who they are because the customization options bring a sense of self and identity in the game. But even moving beyond the customization features for the Inkling and Octoling, which have existed in prior Splatoon games, another customization option that was brand new to Splatoon 3 were the banners, badges, and titles. Splatoon 2 did have a feature where if you reached a certain amount of paint, you get a stamp on your weapon, but grinding for badges for me feels more fulfilling, because similar to character customization, designing your banner, badges, and title brings a sense of identity. By just looking at my banner, a random person can probably guess that sloshers are my favorite weapon class. Another thing that I really love about this game is how sloshers feel in this game. For the most part, this weapon class, specifically the 3 original sloshers, have had pretty good luck for being viable weapons in Splatoon 3. The weapon kits are incredibly fun, they've all been viable at different points in the meta, and more importantly, they are not subject to ink armor and main power-up anymore. One of the things that I hated about Splatoon 2 was the existence of ink armor and MPU. MPU didn't really benefit sloshers, but more importantly, ink armor made it so my weapons, sloshers, were just not fun to play. Now obviously not every weapon class had this luck from S2 to S3, sorry Brella class, but being able to use the weapons that I enjoy, even if I win or lose, makes the game more enjoyable because I'm having fun at the end of the day. Lastly, I have to applaud Splatoon 3 for giving us options, particularly with the ranked modes. Originally, you either had the option of playing in Turf War, Ranked, Private Battles, or League. If you didn't have anyone to play with, technically you were stuck with Turf War and Ranked modes. I don't really play Turf War, so Ranked mode was pretty much the only mode I played in prior games. But in Splatoon 3, you now have 2 ranked modes with Series and Open, and you have X rank for a total of 3 options. Sometimes when I get on, I usually pick based on the map and mode I want to play on. So if I didn't like Anarchy Series for example, I can play in X rank and vice versa. However, while Nintendo did increase our options, there are a couple of things that I hated for what they did. For example, one thing that I disliked that Splatoon 3 did was change entirely what the group mode was intended for from league battles to challenges. Now I know you probably heard this take before, but the reason I don't like challenges is because Nintendo took away an already established feature that allows you to play in organized groups, and personally I don't really find challenges all that fun. I know someone might say, well technically you can play with your friends in Open and grind for power like you did in League, but I'd argue it's not the same. My issue with that argument is that in League, when you sign up with 4 players, you only play against other teams that signed up with 4 players. Similarly, if you signed up as a duo, you get paired with another duo and face a team with 2 duos as well. With Open in Splatoon 3, you could join with 2 players and get 2 random teammates who are playing individually and face a group of 4 players. The matchmaking just sucks, and for some players who want to play Open and not have to face such significant point losses with Anarchy Series or X rank, it can sometimes suck being on your own and playing against organized teams. And also, I don't find challenges fun at all. Sure, there are some highlights with the increased jumping challenges, but just recently, for example, the bomb rush challenge was incredibly annoying. Fighting multiple juniors throwing quad bombs just isn't a fun experience for me personally. Sure, I could use Junior, but I don't really like that weapon. I'd rather use a Slosher. So having these type of experiences and the challenges where the weapons that you enjoy may not be the most viable is an unfortunate experience. Also, why are we only given one shellout token for participating in these type of events? It seems so limited. As much as I love the specials that Splatoon 3 introduced in this game, there is one special in particular that I hated that they brought back, and that's Kraken Royale. Chase247 already made an entire video on this, so I won't go into too much detail, but basically, I'm just not a big fan of invincibility specials being in this game. And fighting against multiple Krakens, just getting on the tower during overtime, just seems like a cheesy way to win, and sometimes they just can be incredibly laggy. Another thing I dislike about Splatoon 3 is the DCs, aka the disconnections. I'm sure you have all seen or experienced lag before. I fortunately play with an Ethernet cable, but even then, that doesn't mean I don't experience the problems like others, maybe to not a significant extent. But this is the change that I dislike the most. The game can stop if one person DCs within 1 minute. Now I know what this feature was intended to do. It is unfair for a team of 3 to fight a team of 4 for the remaining time. But what bothers me is when you get a very good push in the opening, because you and your team did everything correctly, and one person on the enemy team decides to rage quit. There have been times where all I needed was that one win to get more points in X rank, but the room closes because of the DC, and now I have to wait again in queue, and time runs out and the mode changes. I understand why the change was implemented, it just sucks that it not only affects the person that's DCing, but it affects everybody else in the lobby as well. I'll be honest with you, there's probably a lot more things that I can list that I love about this game, ranging from the story mode, to the DLC, to Salmon Run being drastically improved, and those 3 things that I listed that I hate or dislike, that's probably all I can say, because I think Splatoon 3 is actually a really fun game, and I hope people look back on this game and enjoy the time that they had with it. Let me know in the comments what you think, and thanks for watching.